in movement world. 4 days into the 7-day competition. My name is Rory McKernan. I have a very special treat. Feels like a throwback. One of them's already raised his blue hand. If you're a Zoom user, you know that means he's obviously got something to say. I am joined by Josh Bridges, Dan Bailey, and Rich Froning. They call themselves the good dudes when they're all together. What's up, guys?
What's up?
What's up, bro?
I feel like I've gotten a lot of Rich and some Dan time. So Josh, first and foremost, how you doing? How's the kind of quarantine treating you?
Oh man, I'm doing good, brother. Like, life has not changed almost at all, except for the fact that my kids don't have sports. But I don't leave my house very often anyways, so life is pretty normal for me. I'm a quarantine type of guy, I guess. So
you like your space. Yeah, actually, that's one thing I myself.
The mustache wouldn't give that away.
Speaking of, we were talking about it a bit. The cameras are rolling, but Dan Bailey, what's up with the upper lip, bro?
So things at work have changed a little bit. Josh said things haven't changed a whole lot for him. Things have changed a lot for us over at Rogue Fitness. So the gym was shut down, obviously, because of everything going on. So everybody's lending a hand in the warehouse where they can certain days of the week. And when the CDC or the government or somebody mentioned that facial masks may need to be added into the daily routine of people going to work and things like that, a group of us decided to, if you're going to have a good seal around the chin, you got to get everything below the lip out of there. And we all decided to start rocking mustaches to boost morale a little bit while we're doing the work back there. So,
Rich, Josh, can you pull it off?
This is my first one.
First mustache, huh?
It's my first mustache.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you're doing okay, man. I mean, I'm not gonna say like I'm a fan.
I don't know if I am yet either. I haven't decided yet. Every time I see myself in the morning.
Look good.
Thank you, Josh. You're good.
Rich, you can
it's kind of
appreciate
dark.
this.
I can't really see it.
I had to go to our local bank today, First National Bank, and
I
had the kids with me, had the wife with me, and we all rolled up with face masks to the bank. I'm like to sign paperwork, so I actually had to go into the lobby, and I was like, "This is probably the only time I'm going to do this and get away with it."
You should have wore a bandana. That's what you should have done.
the kids were. It was an actual bandana.
Nice. I can't believe you're wearing a mask in Cookeville, Tennessee.
It's recommended, bro.
Oh,
hey,
right.
Here's you know what? I don't know if you guys knew this or if you, it was really just an announcement he made, but after you all, I'm speaking to the one and only Chris Spieler. Is now recovering from COVID-19.
What? I didn't know that.
I think it's fake news.
Fake news. I heard.
He's the one that's promoting it, but he said, man, it was great. You should go watch his Instagram live, and then I'm going to interview him here. But he and Sarah both had like a really hard time with it. They're like 4 weeks into recovery.
I was going to say, was he the one running the ventilator? I feel like he's got to do that.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, if anybody, I thought
scary.
It was an interesting wake-up call, right? An interesting wake-up call.
Sure.
So here's a question. You guys have been providing online training in each of your separate spaces a number of years now, but I'm interested to hear, like, what has this done for, like, in terms of business, good, bad, or indifferent? Have you guys seen fluctuations, people asking for different things, people reaching out and ask questions? Like, how has that landscape changed?
Or dumbbell stuff for me. I'm
Josh,
sure these guys are the same. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Josh. No, I'm new to
Go
this.
ahead, Rich. You finished.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, I mean, a lot more dumbbell stuff for us personally. I've been trying to do the workouts with our members in the morning, and also we've been doing some quarantine type workouts on our YouTube channel. And they are, my heart rate is very high all the time, I feel like, and they're miserable. But it goes to show you don't need a ton of equipment to stay fit or to get good workout in, which has been pretty cool to see that. I feel like, over the years, all of us have leaned a little bit more towards the heavier stuff just because you feel like that's what you need to do. And so it's been kind of cool to come back and see, hey, maybe you don't need to lift a heavy barbell to get some good fitness in. And it's been good to work on some imbalances as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's been the same for me. Like, for the programming that, online and stuff like that, hasn't really, I think some people have put their accounts on hold and stuff like that, which isn't a big deal. Like, it is what it is. People don't need to be paying me for a pro can't use, but we have also same thing. You know, we started offering a lot more like limited equipment, limited time. Well, you don't really have limited time, but limited equipment type of programming, I guess. Yeah. And
workout all day.
no, it's been exactly work out more, but with less. So it's been cool. And exactly, it's something that like I've had to deal with throughout the years with, you know, going on traveling a lot. You know, you have to deal with that kind of stuff anyways, and so it's kind of been easy to just share that knowledge and help other people out who haven't had to deal with it and always have that gym or that coach that programs for them. So it's been really cool.
Yeah. There's been more interest in, obviously, hey, how can I adapt this to, I only have one dumbbell. How can I adapt this workout to here? How can I, you know, do those different kind of things? So when I started, I had to make bumpers out of spare tires and a wall ball out of a basketball filled with sand. So, you know, being able to share some of that with everybody, being able to share that with people, like if they really, really can't, you know, afford a sandbag, can't get a hand on some kind of weight, you know, you can use the milk jugs, the antifreeze bottles, you know, anything you can use, a cinder block, something like that to just move some weight around. So I've also been trying to put out just a free body weight workout every day to mix it up a little bit. And that's actually been a fun challenge because there's only so many push-ups, air squats, and flutter kicks and sit-ups that you can program. You know, you got to get kind of creative in how you mix and match those things and try to find new movements to do. So that's actually been a fun part of it, trying to get somebody working out and moving in that respect where you're just limited on what you can do and how creative can you get.
Yeah, for sure. Rich, we're kind of joking and saying, yeah, okay, well, with being alone, but your Instagram was hilarious today with the like all by myself, and your mood was sort of like feeling lonely.
Yeah, we did. That was when was that? I guess it was last week. It was just me in the gym, and it's just big, empty, you know, whatever, 20 facility. And Dre, or I think it was Ben that was actually filming it. And I don't even know what was going through my head at that time. And I was like, Dre, you've got to add, you know, because licensing wise in the YouTube video, it's a different song. But I was like, all by myself. And it's pretty, I mean, it's just the way it is right now. You know, it's all kind of in that situation right now. It's tough to get motivated. And that's, I think, what all three of us are really trying to do, to keep people moving, try to keep people motivated. It's hard when you're by yourself. But that's, you know, we're trying to do some of these videos we do in the afternoon on YouTube. And then, you know, some of our M30 stuff is just to get people moving and to, I don't know, feel some connectivity with people through video. I know a lot of other gyms are doing that and doing Zoom classes and stuff like that. So it's good.
Address that child. Man, she's I love her discretion, you know. She's chill. She's downtown.
Yeah, she's wanting to switch.
Give me that.
I don't know what she's doing. So
give me that.
Rich in particular, and Josh and Dan can speak to this as well. But obviously, I'm here and I've got a lot of access to Mayhem, and I follow this. You guys have chosen to make, like, when there's a premium on, I'm sure, people coming to the website and people coming to the online training, but you guys have chosen to make a lot more things free.
Yeah, I think it's just we're just in this together. I mean, you know, a lot of people are, I mean, they don't have an income right now, so we figured, you know, let's make it free for an extended period of time here. Get people, you know, as many people as we can moving. That's really what it's about right now, and it's kind of this whole united in movement thing that's going on. Is like, hey, we're all in this together, and let's, you know. It's not a time to be, you know, making money off of people. You know, we could charge a little bit of money and make some money because a lot of people are doing no equipment workouts. And so just it doesn't feel right, you know. So I think these guys are doing a lot of similar stuff, giving a lot of people are giving away free content. Because like I said, that's what the CrossFit community is about. And they've given us so much that I think it's our turn to give some back too.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. Same. Yeah, I mean, exactly. We've been given so much in our sport and in the CrossFit community. Why not give back in a time when everyone needs that? You know, everyone needs that little bit of push, that little bit of help, whether it's, you know, a free workout or just some stupid little motivational quote that, you know, maybe it sounds stupid to you, but some people get something out of it. I know Rich likes
I love a good motivational quote.
Typically why I put him up is for Rich, because I know he's struggling right now.
You know, when I wake up in the morning, I just Google motivational quotes to get me through the day. That's my
I was gonna third everything these guys said except for the motivational quote part, but it's also it's good to I mean, it's good to see the free content going out. It's good to see all those things and being able to get people moving and those kind of things, because I mean, what you see happening, you know, worldwide is your fitness really is a hedge against sickness, right? So, you know, we always talk about that continuum of overall health, and the fitter you are, the better off you are when sickness and when things strike like this. So, I mean, I can attest to that. You know, the past 2 years of being injured and things like that, being fit helped me through those circumstances, helped me heal faster, help, you know, get back on my feet better. And I think, I mean, I'm sure Chris will probably attest to this in your next interview, even though I'm sure it was really hard for him. It sounds like if he's had it, he's recovering and he's doing well. And I know that's not, you know, on everybody, but overwhelmingly, if you can keep moving, keep yourself in some form of fitness and keep yourself in good shape, I think you're better off to handle what life throws at you.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait to catch up with him, like I said, but yeah, it was one of his points. You know, he was like, he used it as a double-edged sword. He was like, look, obviously this population, meaning like the CrossFit space or fit people, are going to have an easier time with it, but don't trip and think that none of us can be touched by it, because, you know, like I'm living proof of that. And he's, you know, Rich, you can sympathize as well, and Josh as well. You know, he's in a house with a wife and 2 kids, and it was interesting to hear how he had to navigate. He lived downstairs and played out the sickness, switched with Sarah when she got sick, and she went down and he went to the kids. And it was,
wow. I can't even imagine having kids, just having 2 parents and being outnumbered is not fun, let alone one parent and being outnumbered. I can't imagine, you know, and especially worrying about, you know, infecting others. And that would just, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, that's the tough part, right? Is like just not knowing like who you accidentally get around and maybe spread it to. Like, even if you don't get affected by it, it's like maybe you don't struggle with the actual symptoms or the sickness, but, you know, the people that you contact, you know, by chance could. So
yeah, without a doubt. This may seem like a weird pivot, but Josh, I haven't checked in with you in a long, you know, obviously you're at the Classic. I've talked to Rich and Dan about this, but, you know, the complete scattering of the CrossFit Games season was tough on a bunch of people. I'm interested to get kind of your take on that for athletes who this really shook up their livelihood and where they were going, and then also hear kind of where your head's at in terms of competition for yourself.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? I mean, I think not having sports for me is the hardest part of all of this, right? I don't have anything to watch. My kids' sports are canceled. I'm like, man, this is terrible. So, yeah, you know, for me, it didn't really affect me. You know, like 2020 wasn't a super big priority for me because of my elbow surgery in November, and my knee's really still kind of coming back, giving me trouble every once in a while when I really push hard. So 2020 wasn't really an end goal. So if the 2020 games don't happen, it's not for me. It's not a big deal. For a lot of people, it's terrible. You know, I mean, people put so much effort and so much time and so much of their, you know, they dedicate so much to their sport, and then it just, you know, gets pulled away. But there's, you know, for professional athletes, it's you know, there's always next year, right? At some point, this is going to come to an end. It doesn't matter. You know, this will end and we'll get past it and we'll move on and sports will come back. You know, for what I feel bad for are like the college athletes, right? Their senior year who didn't get to play their final season. Like, man, like, you know, I wrestled, and so I have the wrestlers near and dear to my heart. And it's like, those kids literally, they were 2 weeks away from the national tournament and they just canceled it. And you're like, and they're like, winter sport athletes aren't getting another year of eligibility. You're like, man, that's so, and basketball, and just rough for those kind of people. You know, for professional athletes, we're gonna come back and it's gonna be there next year, hopefully. You know, yeah. But yeah, for me, it's not that huge of a deal. You know, like I'll get past this and I'll, you know, look for 2021 and the fact that I did 100 pull-ups 2 days ago and I think I have rhabdo in my arm, it's not a big deal. I'm where I want to be.
Shake
I'm
it
where I
off.
want to be.
Shake it off.
Go row a little bit. Row a marathon. Get rid of it.
Yeah, there you go. Just your arms.
Little voodoo floss, you'll be fine.
I got 2 elbows. It's not a big deal.
That's right.
Well, so when you think our mutual friend Dave Castro recently, he posted what I would call maybe some inflammatory little pokes. A couple of Rich was one of them. I think you guys were included in that. Is the Masters anywhere on anyone's conversation? Why or why not?
It's not something a priority for me. I would probably rather go to team and have fun with friends at that point in my career. Individually, if I'm not making it to the open, to the individual side, then at that point I think I'm ready to step away from individual else. So it's not like it's, for me, Masters I've never had any draw to it, and it has nothing to do with, I think, that the Masters athletes, anything about that. I think what those guys do and what those men and women do are phenomenal, and they're in great shape, and it's good on them, but it's just not for me. It's not.
Yeah, understood.
I was getting ready to do Nope. You want to go, Rich?
Nope. Go ahead.
I was getting ready to do I was going to do a team event with Christy Eramo, her husband, and Jen San Diego there for the West Coast Classic. So I was actually getting ready to, have a first team event and have that experience for, attempting to make teams or something like that. So that's actually what I would probably prefer to do rather than Masters as well. The amount of time that it takes to go individual and those kind of it's a bear in itself. And like, I haven't been super healthy over the past 2 years. And every time I try to wind up and swing hard at training again, something else pops up. So look at it, I'm starting to prioritize my health a little more than I am about, CrossFit Games glory. So the team thing would definitely interest me more than doing.
So Rich, I think he's saying the team is easier.
That's what I heard. I heard that you don't have to train as hard to be on a team.
You've said team's easier on your game. So
mental game, physical game, not quite
physical
the same.
game. No.
Yeah, I'll compete or a master, I guess would be the correct term. But not as an individual ever again. It's just not something I ever want to do. And it's not the fact that it's master's level. It's just that I don't want to compete as an individual anymore. So I'm really happy where I'm at.
How far are you away from it anyways? What are you, like 3 years?
You got like 4 years?
2 years, man.
Yeah.
2 years, man.
20, aren't you 29 or even 30 yet?
I wish.
Bro,
I wish.
I'll be in the next age bracket.
You'd be aged out, man.
I think on Thursday I'm in the next age bracket on Thursday.
Are you 40?
Yeah, I feel like it.
No, man, I'll be 33. Get off my back.
Oh,
they take your biological age.
So, I remember 33 was my prime.
Yeah, 33. I had my best CrossFit Games year ever at 33.
Are we talking chronological age or like miles?
No, it's gonna be your biological.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I'm over 250,000 miles. I guarantee that.
You guys can go to the 60 plus.
I've got that high mileage oil.
You haven't but you haven't had the engine replacement and new training like Josh and I have.
I had I believe I had a flat tire.
Yeah. You've had some.
You got a flat, yeah. That was like an.
I had to patch.
Right.
You had to replace that tire, bro. Get out of here.
Yeah, it's about to. I might be there sooner than. Might be as you there,
Josh and I's check engine light comes on every time we walk out in the garage.
Oh, I throw a code every time I wake up. Yeah. Every time I wake up, I have like an O2 sensor or something.
Yeah,
that goes
something's
bad.
there.
Like I said, until you have to roll out of bed and go into a hot shower to still get not have aches and pain. Don't talk to me, okay? All right.
I've
taken this before I go work out now.
I've gotten a crick in my neck by trying to roll over using my head, use my arms. Does that count?
Pretty good. It's a start.
All bad signs. All bad signs. Josh, well, Dan, I know you got one too. Rich might have one, but I see that can in the frame here. I want to know, good dudes, but I know we've got a product release, and I want to talk about that. But tell me, kind of like, what's Good Dudes doing? Because, you know, Rich has opened a stinking coffee shop, which is awesome, at Mayhem. And I want to know, like, you know, how's the brand going? And tell me about this new product.
Yeah, man, it's going great. You know, like we got 4 different coffees to choose from. Virgin, great coffees. You can get a subscription, so it's constantly shipped to you however much coffee you need. You know, and then we have the release of a can. It's this is something that, you know, we found.
You can get it in the can.
Yeah, you can get it in the can. Exactly. So this is something we found. We basically reached out to this company called
Elemental Beverage Company. Yep.
Elemental Beverage Company. There it is. Rich knows better than I do because he loves this stuff. I'm not a cold coffee kind of guy. I love hot coffee. Be amazing, and that's why I was able. I'm okay with releasing it. It's definitely something I would drink, and you can actually heat it up. You can pour it into a cup and heat it up if you want to. But it's called Snap. It's called Snap Chilled, and so it's actually brewed hot and then immediately chilled, so that it kind of locks in the flavor, so it doesn't have that bitterness that cold brew typically has. And so
does it have the kick that cold brew usually has?
The kick,
bro.
yes. Yeah. All Good Dudes coffee does. It's all the pre-workout you ever need in your life.
This stuff is jet fuel in a can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So kind of the idea was when we started this whole deal, I wasn't huge into coffee. Wasn't really my thing. And then I found out I liked cold coffee. And so I was using that cold wave pitcher, and because I realized I don't really like cold brew. So cold brew and snap chilled coffee are 2 completely different things. You can hear kids yelling in the background. And so I've got this snap chiller pitcher off of Amazon. And from there, this same company, the Elemental Beverage Company, they make cans. So once I post about the cold wave pitcher, they found out and then said, hey, let us send you some of these cans of coffee. So then we made the connection between the two. Because like Josh said, I don't necessarily not like cold brew, but I like hot coffee. It's fresh and then flash chilled. But the problem is most of the time if you get hot coffee and they make it iced, all they do is chuck ice in it and it waters it down. Nobody wants that because then it's weak. And so this snap chiller is a pretty cool substitute too if you can't get to the can thing, can't get it in the can. That's where it kind of all started from there. And so the company reached out and then Josh made those connections and now we got it in the can.
And we got it in the can.
You guys, yeah.
Good Dudes in a can, and it's dropping tomorrow, I believe. We're
oh wow,
it's like 98% that it's dropping tomorrow. So yeah,
I mean it's better than 95%. That's fantastic, man. I'm glad we got all our ducks in a row before we came on here.
Exactly.
Let's just say it's dropping tomorrow. You know? It's dropping tomorrow.
I don't want to disappoint if it doesn't. There's a 2% chance.
I get it.
That's all that 1 in a million talk, man.
You got an out. Okay. I got to let you guys in a second, but I want to get, I don't know, before we're going to get on this, I was like, wow, I'm going to talk to Chris Spieler right after I talked to Josh and Dan and Rich. And so it's just kind of walking down memory lane. On or about this day in 2012, the regional workouts were announced. Not too far away from this day in 2011, Josh Bridges did Fran in 202, made a big splash. You guys think, just give me, we're in 2020. And I don't know, you guys have been in this game since, as far as I'm concerned, the beginning, at least, as the CrossFit Games are concerned. I just love to hear 1 or 2 favorite memories because lots of people don't get to see you 3 chit-chat in the same place at the same time.
Shoot, go. Someone go.
I think for me, one of my favorite memories with Josh is push-pull under the lights. He did beat me, but it was still a really fun, kind of both of us. I didn't really expect it to be between me and him for the win. And so that was pretty cool. And then
he's saying he was saying he thinks he'd beat somebody else, so it's not a big deal.
No, honestly, with the street handstand push-ups, I didn't think I'd be there. So and then another one of my favorites actually is with Dan at Camp Pendleton, because we're talking in the beginning, we're like, hey, we'll do the first part together and then maybe at the end we'll push and whatever. So the mountain and Dan's like, peace. And so I end up walking up the entire hill. Then about, 2-3 miles down the hill, every once in a while I hear Dan screaming, my calf. His calf's cramping up. And I'm like, I walk by, I'm like, hey, Dan. He's like, Hey, Rich. I don't know, for some reason that's it just sticks out in my memory as one of the games moments, one of my favorites. So,
Dan, do you love that one or hate that one?
Yeah.
It's a funny. That's a good one. I mean, I couldn't. There's nothing I could do about it. Like every step I was taking, my calf was cramping, and I'm like 2 miles, and now Rich is gonna pass me, and I'm just like, yeah, go ahead. Like I don't even
passing me on an endurance event.
Ignore this. But I have a rebuttal to that as one of my favorite. But yeah, no, two of my favorite memories. One is going to be Josh's least favorite memory, the fact that I won the 2011 CrossFit Games Open.
So cheap. So cheap.
That was
For fans that don't know, that's a good one to go back and watch.
Take that one to the grave. I did that last workout like 4 times in 2 days. I earned that one. And then my second favorite one, I guess, or one of the ones that sticks out into my head always, is I hadn't met Rich yet at this point. We kind of met in 2011. We were on the bus together, like going down to the beach. And he's like, "Hey, how many oceans do you have in Ohio?" I'm like, "About as many as you have in Tennessee." So I'm about as prepared for this as you. And we had like the ocean swim. You get out and run a mile, do a bunch of pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, or pull-ups and squats, and then run another mile. And I can remember coming around on the run, and I think
walking insane.
Josh, you beat me. Spieler beat me, and Zach Forrest. I'm like, okay, 2 Navy SEALs and Chris Spieler beat me. That's fine. Like, I'm okay with that. I can live with that. And then but coming around, I remember watching Rich walking through the sand, like walking on the run with his head down, shaking it. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to beat this guy this weekend. Like, he's got no chance.
How'd that go for the rest of the
already
weekend?
Walking on a
worked out well, right?
How'd the rest
and then he won 4 years in a row. So, but yeah, that was one of my favorite memories. And then getting to train with these 2 guys for, 2 or 3 seasons in a row exclusively was, I mean, that's untouchable. You can't touch those memories down in Cookeville, Tennessee, out in San Diego and all that. So,
moral of the story is don't judge a book by the way it walks on the beach.
That's right. I do enjoy long walks on the beach,
Who doesn't, right?
And on pavement, I do that too. So
I think the thing happened in the 333. You were in front of me, and then I passed you on the run, and I heard you go like, as soon as I ran by.
All I remember from 11 was every time. I feel like every time we had an open water swim, you breathe on your right. I believe whatever it was. We always locked eyes every time we'd go to breathe. You're just looking at each other in the eyes. So
we came out of the water at the same time on every event.
Yeah. And we both sucked at swimming. So
all right, Josh, you're up.
Yeah, for me, like the push pull CrossFit event memory was really cool. I had no idea how the workout would really go. I didn't know how the sleds were going to be, how they were going to feel. To be honest, I was like, I don't think I'm going to do very well at this workout at all. And to have that, like, that was the last time I think, we went head to head, because that was your last year. Yeah, that was
my last year.
Yep. As an individual. And so, yeah, that was such a cool event. That whole year for me, 14 was by far there. I mean, in the back, like just, I mean, I had a great time. It was by far my favorite year of any of the games, where like we actually had become friends at that point, and we were laughing and joking in the back a ton, and making fun of each other all the time. And so that was a good time. Nah, doesn't sound like us at all.
Nah, dude.
I mean, nah, dude. Yeah, and then with favorite moment with Dan, I think when he came here and trained here, and left that stain on my couch. It's one of my favorite moments. My favorite part about Dan is the fact that he trained here for how many years, Dan? 3, 2?
Maybe, I think 2, 14 and 15.
And I bet we did 3 workouts together. Yeah, Dan would come over to my house and train on his own. He would do his own thing in the corner. That's my favorite part.
The reason that I would have to do that is
he's just gonna be him.
We were snatching. And Mason and I were snatching with Josh, and
I don't believe this.
We get to 7 pounds or whatever it is, and we're all snatching, and everyone hits.
Probably way lighter than that.
Josh does not hit the weight. He goes again, fails, goes again. I can see the boiling happening in his face. Like I'm like, it's about to pop. Like it's about to happen. He misses it again. I think he just pulls it on the last one. Doesn't even go to put it up overhead. And belt goes chucked out the garage door. Weights get ripped off the bar. Barbell kicked across the floor. And I look at Mason. I'm like, I guess we're done lifting.
That's right.
My toys.
Snatching is over forever.
Man, I think I saw Trice do that today.
Dude, that's fine, man.
Like, Josh, I'll be back in a week. I gotta go finish this snatch session here on the boat somehow.
Sounds like Trice is going to be a killer athlete.
That's right.
I don't want to, but I'm obligated to let you guys go. Would you like to give a social distance high five to Chris Spieler? I'll bring him in real quick before you guys take off.
Do it.
You guys want to say hi to Chris?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Dan takes a couple seconds here, but Chris is now entering the room, and you guys get a good look at the man recovering.
Look at that.
Chris.
Look at that mug.
Hey.
Hey,
Chris.
We're walking down memory lane, buddy. So we thought we would bring you in before these guys left, just at least to say a quick hello and high five.
Yeah, virtual high fives these days.
How's everything going, buddy?
You sounded
dang, man.
Yeah. Great.
The fact that you're not wearing your legend shirt right now is
right.
Like, you are the ultimate legend. You've now beat COVID.